Our guest today is Brother Kwasi Romaric, whom we welcome here with your applause. Please have a seat, dear brother. Shalom to you, dear and esteemed Mr. Romaric Kwasi, Anis Ekbasti. I send you my warmest greetings and hope this message finds you well. Shalom
to you, Brother Roland.
How are you? Yes?
I'm doing well, more or less.
More or less, all right. But we're convinced that by the end of this moment, everything might be completely fine. So, just to recap, you are Mr. Kwasi Romaric, and you are an entrepreneur. That's good.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Do you have anything else to add for your introduction?
I'm simply saying that today I hope to find a solution to the problems I just presented here, because my heart hurts a lot. Honestly, I'm really hurting.
All right. Before coming here, did you perhaps make an effort to find other solutions to the problem that brought you here?
I talked about it with some acquaintances, but after that, I didn't get any results.
How did you first discover the show Predacor, if you don't mind sharing?
Honestly, I don't usually watch the show like that, to be completely honest with you. It's just that on this particular occasion, I happened to be browsing through social media, and quite unexpectedly, I came across the show. And then, as I was watching, I saw the pastor's intervention, which really caught my attention and made me want to keep watching for a little while longer. It really made me aware, and that's what led me to come here to meet you.
All right. And who are the people you would like to meet on the set?
Today, I want to meet Samira, a girl I really like. I hope we can resolve the situation.
Samira, is she the only person you want to meet?
Yes, she is absolutely the only person that I truly want to meet.
I see 2 chairs then.
Because she's the one I wanted to have a meaningful and genuinely proper conversation with, because I felt it was important to do so.
Is she the only person involved in this problem?
Besides her, there's her family. But I think the main person concerned is Samira.
When you talk about her family, who exactly do you mean?
Her mother and her brother.
But the person you especially want to meet is Samira, right?
Samira.
All right. So we want to find out what the issue is between you and Samira. Here on this set. We'll do that in the segment called The Big Reveal. Let's go. Okay. So my dear, Mr. Romaric Kwasi, what is the issue between you and your girlfriend?
All right, thank you very much. As I said earlier, I am Kwasi Romaric. As for me, I come from a very poor family, which meant I started doing odd jobs, working here and there, and by the grace of God, I met someone. And this person was very well off. He was a man who wanted to help me, so he paid for my studies so I could go to English-speaking countries. And over there, I learned how to do business, how to manage companies. He even gave me one of his companies, which I am currently managing. And thanks to that, I was able to acquire a few more companies, 2 or 3 businesses. And one day after that, I decided to return to my country. Why not invest in my own country? I'm back in my country, and that's how one day I decide to go to the supermarket and I get to know a beautiful young lady, Samira. Very intelligent, well-educated, very polite. We exchanged contacts, we called each other for a while, and then our relationship began. So after a month, the relationship started. I really loved her, she loved me too, and everything was going very well. Until I decided to go introduce myself, that is, to go meet her family. Because for me, that's very important. If you love someone, their parents should be able to see you. Try to speak a little louder, please.
Please. If you love someone, it's really very important that the person's parents can see you. So I decided to go see the family. And when I arrived at their home, to my great surprise, they lived in a really pitiful house. Their situation was very difficult. Samira's mother is a widow. She had a younger brother who was in his first year of law school.
And so there, out of compassion for him, I had to show that I truly loved Samira. And when you love a girl, you really have to help her family too. So right away, I wanted to help her family out of love, out of compassion. So I gave them some money for the house, for a new house. And I also paid for her little brother's studies. All of that out of love. And I tell myself that it's something important for me to be able to do it because I really love her. And in this relationship, we call each other when I have time. We see each other. I go to her place. 6 months into the relationship, everything was going really well and all that. I decided one Saturday to pay her a visit just to see how she was doing.
How long has your relationship with Samira lasted now?
5 years. When you met Samira, what was her level of education? What was she doing in life? She had graduated from high school. So her little brother, he was in his first year.
First year of?
Law, including associated fees.
All right. And what did you do for Samira, for her family? I didn't understand that part.
All right. I mean, for Samira, I paid for her studies. Because after high school, it was really difficult for her family to be able to pay for her education. So I paid for her studies out of love, and I gave her money for the house. And also so they could buy groceries for the household, because things were very difficult at their place.
So you were actually the one who personally financed Samira's university studies, right?
Of course.
From what level to what level?
Let's say from the last year of high school up to her master's degree.
And today she, at what level?
She has a master's 2 degree.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
And so that day I decided to go see Samira. So I called her, I arrived, and there was a young man in the living room with her. He was sitting there, and well, I greeted Samira's mother, her mom, and she and I talked. And I asked them the question, who was that young man? She told me, he's just a friend, why am I being so jealous? I told her it wasn't a problem. So we shared a meal, and after the meal, she walked me out. On the way, I even insisted again. Samira, who is that young man? She told me, let it go, he's just a friend. To avoid making her upset, because I really care about her. So I let the whole thing go. And in the days that followed, I called. And when I called Samira, usually she would answer my calls. One day, a second day when I called her, she answered my calls. 3 days she answered my calls. It made me curious. I was disgusted to see that. So I decided to go to her place to see what was wrong. I thought maybe she was sick, maybe there was a problem. And I went over there. I found that Samira was fine. And the same guy I saw the day before, he was still there. And they were sitting side by side talking. So basically, I was upset and I asked, who is this guy again? She said, you don't call me, you just show up. I called you several times. I called you, but you kept hanging up on me. I was really worried. That's why I came to your place. But now I find out you're still with this guy. What are you really hiding from me? And Samira came and said to me, my son, listen, to avoid any trouble, I'm simply asking you to go home and then I'll talk to her myself. After all, she's a mother. So out of politeness, I went back home. Later on, one last Saturday, I go to the supermarket, I'm in my car, and as I drive through the city, I see the same young man with Samira again. So right there in the car, I take my phone and call Saman to say, here's mom, I told you last time, this is what's going on with Samira and that young man. I see the same young man again here at the supermarket. I'm in my car. I see Samira with the young man as I drive through the city. And Saman answers me bluntly, my son, my daughter, you haven't married her, you should leave her alone. I say, it's not going to happen like that. So I get out of the car to go and ask. This is the 3rd time now that I've seen you with this young man. What exactly is going on between you two? And you say there's absolutely nothing. And that I'm annoying you, stressing you out with all my questions. Honestly, I want to understand. In just 1 hour, I say I love you, and I find out it's still with the same young man. I really want to understand. So I ask her the question, and Nevis gets upset. Thank God I didn't say it. And he gives me water. I get back in the car and I call Saman again to help me sort out the situation. Saman keeps telling me that my daughter doesn't love you anymore. You have to let it go. After everything I've done for them, of course it hurts so much. And today Samira has blocked me completely. She doesn't want to hear about him anymore. She doesn't want the relationship anymore. That's why today I'm here, so I can talk to Samira. Because I keep telling myself that it's really not her fault. It's really the young man who came with her. Right now it's up to him. There's a problem. What's wrong? I want to understand. That's the reason that brought me here today, to really understand Samira's behavior. Because I truly love her with everything that I've ever done. Honestly, my heart aches. You feel heartache because of everything you
Have done. You feel heartache because of everything you've done. Maybe you haven't been given the true value of what you deserve, or is your heart aching because you're losing the love of your life?
Yes, actually, it's a bit of both. I feel like I'm losing the love of my life. And on top of that, there's everything I've invested, really. And now the result is she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. But it's up to me to tell myself directly to go to her daughter. It's not an obligation. If her daughter doesn't want me anymore, I'll just let her go. In the end, both of those things hurt me a lot.
So on this set, it's Samira you want to meet?
Yes, Brother Roland.
With one of her parents, is that right?
Yes, with one of her parents.
All right. Pastor Chumo, here is the situation our brother Kwasi Romaric is presenting to us. He tells us that he met a young lady named Samira, and having fallen in love with her, he decided to make their relationship official by going directly to meet the parents of his supposed beloved, Samira. When he arrived at their home, he realized that they were living in rather poor conditions. Having been blessed by the Lord to find work quickly, he had the opportunity to earn some money. And for him, love is not just empty words, but also strong, meaningful actions that truly matter. So, after much thought and consideration, he decided to prove his deep and genuine love to Samira by providing significant financial support to his future in-laws. He will offer them the wonderful chance to live in much better, more comfortable, and improved living conditions. By paying their deposit, he helps them take a big step forward in life. Later, they come to realize that Samira's brother, who is actually quite intelligent and talented, had to drop out of school because, unfortunately, he simply couldn't afford to continue his education due to financial difficulties. So he decides to pay for his education. And then, to top it all off, he finances Samira's education from her final year of high school all the way to her current master's program. Later on, he discovers something in his relationship with Samira. Just as he was preparing to finalize everything with marriage, he finds out that she is seeing another young man. So he decides to find out who this other man is. Eventually, he hears from his mother-in-law that her daughter told her she doesn't love him anymore. And so he could choose another path for himself. Not agreeing with this decision, he tries everything in his power to win Samira's heart back. That's what brings him here to this set, so that we can help him. Not only to convince Samira to come back to him, but also, why not, to have one of her parents talk some sense into their child about this hurtful decision she's just made, which is causing him pain, but could also have negative consequences for Samira and her whole family. So this is the problem he's presenting to us. We've listened to Brother Omari Kwasi. I think we should also hear Samira's side of the story to understand what's going on, and of course her family's as well.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, we will now welcome the request from Mr. Kwasi Romaric, Dame Bernadette, along with her daughter Samira, so we can hear their version of the facts regarding this matter. All right, so I'm looking at my notes. I see Dame Bernadette, that's you. Shalom, madam.
That's me, Dame Bernadette.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well.
So, you were supposed to join us here on set with Samira, unless I'm mistaken. You are Samira?
No, I'm not Samira. I'm Samira's older brother. My name is Cedric. Today, Samira can't be here because my little sister is sick. And right now, she has an illness called depression. My little sister is depressed, and that's why I'm filling in for her.
But excuse me, that's nonsense. I saw Samira not long ago. I saw Samira. It was 3 days ago that I saw Samira. That's a lie. That's a lie.
All right. Let's...
Brother Roland, before we continue, I would like you to start moderating so that they can't say that what we're saying is a lie.
All right. No. Honestly, I'm a bit confused by all this. Normally, it was supposed to be Samira here. Isn't that right, my dear? Madam Bernadette, is that correct?
Yes, that's right, Brother Ulam. It was supposed to be Samira here. Honestly, I don't even know why we're here at all. I don't even know who that guy is. And yet he's the one who called us here. And now he's insisting on certain things.
Mom, let's calm down. You're going to ask me who I am? You're going to ask me? You don't remember my face after all this time?
You...
Be quiet.
I'm not your friend, so you keep quiet. I'm talking to the gentleman. Brother Ulam, I was supposed to come with Samira. But Samira isn't feeling very well. So I don't know why she was called here. So I told her brother, since your sister isn't well, you should come with me instead of your sister. If I had known it was because of him, we wouldn't have come all this way.
To come here. All right? Well, so the introduction is all done. Pastor Chumu, this is an exceptional case. Since she couldn't come with her daughter, she chose to come with her son instead. I think her son was born because from what I just heard, her daughter Mira is not in good health. Even if it's true that Mr. Kwasi Romaric believes that these are just imaginary statements. But anyway, it's important for us to give each side a chance to speak so we can understand and see how we can find some common ground on this issue, which may be a difficult problem, but not impossible to solve in God's eyes. Mr. Kwasi Romaric, I can see that you're very upset, but I'm giving you the floor since you were the one who wanted to meet them. You have the floor to tell us, or to tell them as well, why you wanted to meet them here on this set.
First of all, I say that this is collusion. I wanted to meet them to understand because there's a situation we're trying to resolve involving his daughter Samira. I don't understand. I try to call her. She blocks me. And one morning, after blocking me several times, she tells me she doesn't want the relationship anymore. And what hurts me is that she even tells me to just let it go. You have to let it go, because if my daughter doesn't love you anymore, it's not an obligation. Love can't be forced. I'm sorry, she can't talk like that. Honestly, those words can't come from her because she's forgotten. She's forgotten everything I did for them. She's forgotten. Forgotten what? Forgotten what exactly? Mom, calm down.
Mom, you can't say that.
Mom, please calm down.
Romaric, you need to lower your voice.
You want to talk? You need to lower your voice, Romaric. He can talk. You need to know that you can speak. I'm done with this edition. You can talk now. It was in first year. You have nothing. I'm doing this out of compassion. You can talk. You need to go the way we talk. You can talk. Hey, it's because you had the right. In first year, I used to call you Tajut and you would talk to me today.
Brother Romaric, who is he talking to? Brother Holland, who is he talking to? Wait, who is he talking to?
I want a full refund of everything I've spent. I paid for Souffle's studies.
Refund? For what? I want a full refund. God, you need to talk to him.
Refund? For what? Speak to him properly. I want a full refund. All right.
Speak to him. Does he want a refund? For what?
No, in a moment I'll give you the floor. First of all, I really want us to understand things. And you asked for everyone to calm down on this set. Fire is never put out by fire. So if everyone gets upset, we won't find a solution. I'm going to start first with Dame Bernadette. You said at the beginning that you didn't recognize him. Then you ended up recognizing him. What exactly is the problem between you two? And first, is there a problem between you and Mr. Romaric?
Brother Olaf, there is no problem between me and that young man. He's a child I know. I like him. I appreciate him. One day he came to my house. First of all, even my daughter told me she met someone at the supermarket. He said, that's good. So we were there just hanging out until I see him. He shows up. He came to the house and my daughter introduced him to me. He said, Sammy, who is this?
Before we get to him, I would like you to tell me a bit about your life, your relationship with your children, their upbringing, family life.
Family. In any case, I am Dame Bernadette. Yes. I was legally married, and after 10 years, my husband fell ill. 5 years of illness. Honestly, it was difficult. My children talked to me at school. It was hard. And during that time, my husband passed away. And when my husband died, I was running my atike business. And that's how I supported myself and my 2 children, Samira and her brother. So that's how we lived. I sold my tickets. In any case, I managed like that. And that's how my daughter goes to school, my son too. We get by like that, and then they go to school. And that's how I live. In the house, my husband left me. We were renting that house. This house wasn't very big, but in any case, it was a bit more expensive. It had 3 bedrooms. A living room, we paid 200,000. So since my husband passed away, there wasn't enough income to pay for the house anymore. For me, it was difficult. It was a bit difficult. But like that, by the grace of God, I lived like that with my 2 children. There was no problem. And then we saw that Samir had a boyfriend, a friend, who really started coming to help us with certain things. And she was with him. And I didn't say anything. Since he seemed very nice, he would come to the house, always very polite. So I asked my daughter if it was serious. She said, we'll see. So that's how it was. I let her see him. I had no objection to it. A young woman who is grown up, who is mature, who meets a handsome man, well, that's good. Well, there was no problem. So that's how it was. We just kept living our lives. And that's how he told me. But he
would occasionally provide you with some support.
Yes. He did that for his sweetheart, and he did it for us. He did it for his sweetheart.
What exactly was the support he provided?
First, he started taking care of her schooling. Little by little, he took care of her schooling until we even had a problem with our house. At that time, we had a problem with our house. The landlord wanted to kick us out. And then that's how it was. She called. She said that when I call my sweetheart, well, I'll have uncles, but no one helps us. They all abandoned us. So, my sweetheart, I know he's a good person. He can help us. That's how it was. She said that instead of paying the deposit, even moving out late and then getting a new house because she didn't like the old one. And so he paid the deposit and everything. We moved and we were well settled. Things were going well between him. And then Samira, there was no problem. There was no problem until, well...
Beyond that, did he also bring you? To you and to the other members of the...
Yes, my son at university, at school, it's difficult. So when he comes home, he talks with him. They're young people. So certainly he saw that he's someone who's bright. In any case, he also started helping him with his studies so he could support him financially. There's this thing, I can help you, I can support you financially, you'll move forward. And that's how it happened. In any case, I thank him for that. I agreed with him. They liked Samira, they were all together, they would come to the house, there was no problem. Until one day I didn't understand anymore, they stopped coming. And then she told me that at one point she said, but what's going on, sir? Your boyfriend, he doesn't come to the house much anymore. No, we're a bit on bad terms, but it'll pass. It's not a problem. They're young people. They're young, so it can happen at any time. 1, 2, 3, and there's an argument. 1, 2, 3 arguments, shouting. He comes, he talks, he leaves. He found someone. He didn't find someone. I don't even know what's going on. Both of them get worked up. They leave. Then again, we come back. Speech. Up to that point, he says that all of this, the mass is too long. Samira, what's going on? She told me that for her love, you start and then you finish. So I think for us, it's over. She says, oh, okay. Are you sure it's over? It's over. It's over, yes. They're young, it can happen. So I didn't say anything. One day he called me, Mom, here's Samira. I just don't understand her. That's how it is. He says, well, I'm going to talk. I talked, it didn't work. I talked, it didn't work. He calls me again. He says, my son, there are plenty of women out there. When you start a story, it's you talking with your big French, you know. We say that when you start a story, you finish it. You started a story, you finished it. So you need to go look elsewhere. Go somewhere else, you'll find another woman there. She says she wants you. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to force Samira to love you. I can't force Samira to love you.
But excuse me, she's very ungrateful. Excuse me, she's very ungrateful. You're talking
about ingratitude. If normally she
were grateful, she couldn't talk like that. She's not grateful. Why did you tell me she was so ungrateful? Aside from the taxes, both life and... Yes.
But wait, that doesn't actually mean you can at all
treat me that way, ungrateful.
No, that's not what I mean.
He's going to invite me on a
show just to tell me that I'm ungrateful.
You can't talk like that. A woman, after all, is someone who seems
to be a bit... my daughter, she left you, she dropped you off. Even...
Well, you know, she...
dropped you off. Me, ungrateful. My adjige there, you didn't eat either.
Mom, just calm down, please.
Thank God, my daughter, she dropped you off. They say, let everything go, let everything go. It's you who changed, right? Let everything go, it left you.
I'll give you a real fire. Business, you forgot about it?
Very successful.
And then what, really?
They are, both of them, the whole family. The family is mean. And then what?
Don't you think your comments are a bit, even if you helped, even if you gave life, does that mean you should go on a public platform and say it? You have to tell the woman who's supposed to be your future mother-in-law that she's ungrateful. Do you really think that's fair, just between you and me? I acknowledge that you did a lot, and she herself said so on this show, but does that mean you should call her ungrateful? What did she do wrong, really? I'm not trying to defend her, even if what she did might not be seen in a good light. Or you call her an accomplice, her and her son as well. But that doesn't justify it. A man should show restraint. A man chooses his words carefully, even when he's angry. Because afterwards, let's suppose the problem is resolved. How will you look at her to talk to her then? So try to be a bit more moderate.
It will never be resolved. It's over. Where did he send me here to call me fat? You have to tell him that you filed a complaint. You're not fat, Frenchman. You have to tell him that.
You have to tell him that, okay?
You must tell him that. He needs to be told.
To file a complaint. Madame Bernadette, I would like to offer you our apologies on behalf of all the respect we have for women. We do not accept that women are belittled. And you know me, I do not agree with that kind of principle. I apologize not because I agree with you, but because you were belittled on this set. Therefore, on behalf of Pastor Chumu and myself and the entire team, we offer you our apologies. I therefore want to give the floor to Mr. Cedric. You are the one who is here in Samira's place. Can you confirm that Samira is not here precisely because she is unwell?
Brother Roland, thank you for giving me the floor. Because I've been boiling inside for a while now, but I'm making an effort to really stay calm. First of all, regarding the first point, notice that what he just said to my mother is insulting. And for those insulting remarks, there are also consequences. That I sensed from this set. If we really decide to go where we need to go, it won't end well for him. To begin with, I wasn't supposed to be here. But after hesitating for a while, she asked me to come with her. Because her mother isn't feeling well. In fact, for the past few days, my little one has been going through depression. Why is she depressed? There are rumors going around on social media, among her friends, even among my own friends, that my little one is a slut, a prostitute, that she took money from guys. And these kinds of comments have spread so much that my little sister has started to feel the effects mentally, and she is really not doing well at all. He says he saw her. I don't know where he saw her, but I say I attest and I affirm that my little sister is sick. She is sick because of this, Mr. Romaric. Because Romaric explained what he just told you here. I don't believe in that kind of behavior. He did this, that, and the other, claiming that my little sister tricked him, that she took advantage of his age, and he's telling that story everywhere. And I want to say just one thing to Romaric, that it's what he explained to people. And people have changed. This story, as I said, is called defamation.
I don't see myself those things.
Defamation is making allegations about a real event that damages a person's reputation or how they are regarded. And everything he's done is damaging my little sister's reputation. That's already the first point. And the second point, what Romagu needs to know is that the depression my little sister is going through is a harm. It's a harm. And he needs to know the article. Romaric, you want to challenge my legal arguments, right? So listen carefully. Article 1381 of the Civil Code, which deals with civil liability, states that any act, are you listening to me, that occurs due to a person's fault obliges the one at fault to make amends. So Romaric here, he needs to know that if my little sister isn't well tomorrow, if we go to the hospital and run tests, and if this depression she's experiencing has consequences, if it affects her upcoming job, her social life, well, he will have to make amends. We are going to sue him for damages and compensation. And he will pay for it. Since he thinks he can really get money from our family, he needs to know that he will have to pay for all of this. So, Brother Roland, I want this to be the first and last time, starting today.
But you, what steps did you have to take when this whole story began? First, were you aware of the relationship between Samira and Mr. Romaric here present?
But I was informed, because Romaric knows that he and I have always gotten along well. And I acknowledge here on this set that Romaric supported me so I could go to school. But that support was not based on any kind of contract. Romaric and I never sat down to sign a contract. To say that today, I will do things out of love for your sister. The gentlemen were not together. She has to pay me back. He did those things because he loved my sister. But in that relationship, he did things. But Romaric, she gave herself to him. Body and soul, she invested herself. Today my little sister feels that in this relationship, she no longer feels fulfilled. But Romar, you have to understand that she has the right. She has the absolute right to say she doesn't want it anymore. It's a right that has been recognized for her, and it's absolute. Whether it makes you sad or not, you have no right to ask for any kind of compensation. When she was a prostitute, did you do things out of love for her? You have to take responsibility. You're not a man. You're not a man.
Have you tried in the name of the law you're talking about? I'm not very knowledgeable about the law and I don't want to venture onto such slippery ground. But have you, as a legal expert, tried to reconcile them, to bring them together?
Can't reconcile them.
No. What actions did you actually take? He can't.
Reconcile them together.
Mom,
He can't reconcile them. So my son who's right there, he's smart. That's who it is. When you told me about the guards, he can't.
do it.
Right now, the point is to say goodbye, to let go of the thread, because they forgot about the funding. Everything I did. Since today, they don't want to resolve this issue. I want a refund. And today he's going to stand there, point his finger at me and all that. But I'm sorry. Just like me, the money I was giving him to put towards his studies. At any time, he couldn't talk to me like that. Now he's become arrogant because according to him, he studied on
December 2nd? What are you saying? Seriously, my little one, what are you saying? While I was giving him my money at that time, I was the best of the best. At that time, I was the best looking one.
But today they're going to talk to me. I'm sorry.
Roland, he doesn't have the right to talk like that. He's the one I should have listened to. Be quiet. He didn't say how much he gave. What did you give?
Actually, I forgive them.
I said, what did you give? Even
In relation to the girl's behavior, to the behavior of the elders.
what did you give anyway? What did you give anyway? I have to.
Keep my experiences within a group. I'm living this. That is,
Doesn't really happen often. It doesn't just not matter, actually more and more. Everything you were taken there too, in her life, in her time, in her energy, in everything she had to give. It's all of it, every single part. What you took there, you'll have to pay it back too. You'll pay it back. You'll return it just as it was given to you. She was there for you always. Whenever you needed her, she was present. She prepared the cupboards. Your cousin is dead. This is something that cannot be changed, and it is something you must face. She loaded the basins with checks. She prepared. She watched over you. All of that, you owe it to her. You really owe it. Just say it now.
I'm telling you, that's real. That's factual.
For Marie, my little...
Sister, my dear, today,
When I
can certainly tell you, if you would like,
Yes, I know the law. I know the law. Please stop it. Please. My husband, my little sister owes you nothing. On the contrary, you should be the one to worry because today, because of the trouble caused, let's just say a tiny detail about me today, the defeat.
is going to talk to me about the law.
You're talking to me about rights. You're talking to me about rights. Today,
It's just that kindness. You can't even breathe. The thing is, it's just kindness.
Me, today I called you for myself, meaning to resolve the issue regarding your daughter's behavior. Because I still love her. Even
if you love her, you won't have her anymore.
you won't have her anymore, look elsewhere. Another girl will go into another relationship. I can't accept that, so be it. We have two options. Either we solve the problem and I get back together with Samira, or the second option, I get reimbursed for everything I've spent.
I said, oh, tell me, if you get back together with Samira, who will be there to accept her bride price? My husband is dead. Who will be there to accept her bride price? Her mother. If you start over, if you take Samira back today, who will be there? Or would you expose us in front of everyone here? Who will be there?
Even I'm not answering your question. It's the brother who will be there. When I was with Samira, who benefited? I'm not answering your question. When I was with Samira, who
Benefited. Irrelevant. We benefited.
Who benefited?
We benefited. You too. You
Benefited. That's clear. You
also benefited from Samira. You
are going to benefit you.
benefited Samira.
You are going to benefit.
You won't have her anymore. You must tell him that. You speak formal French. He doesn't understand, but you must speak clearly.
I want a refund, since that's how it is. I want a refund.
You
Don't want to listen to people.
I want you to really be able to moderate this debate. Because there's something Romeric is forgetting. He didn't marry my little sister. If he had married her, if he had caught her in an act of adultery, he could really follow whatever procedure he wanted. That is, he could file a complaint because my little sister cheated on him, and his reputation would truly have been damaged. But first, he didn't catch her in an act of adultery. Second, he didn't marry her. They were in a romantic relationship, just boyfriend and girlfriend. And in that situation, he feels he did a lot for her. I also believe that Abitu did a lot for him.
That's it.
She has the absolute right, I repeat, to tell Romaric that she doesn't love him anymore if she no longer feels the need for him. He himself should be glad about it. Because if she's with him while she doesn't love him, she'll make him suffer. Today you're lucky. My daughter, she says she doesn't want the relationship anymore. But that's enough. You're asking for compensation, reparation, restitution.
But Mr. Sergey, do you at least understand the state of...
I understand his state. I completely understand his state. He may feel hurt, feel sorrow, but his sorrow should be limited to the emotional realm. He is sad, yes, he expresses his sorrow. And he takes responsibility, he accepts it, and then he moves on. Because what he's showing now doesn't make any sense. We don't owe him any restitution. On the contrary, he needs to understand that by telling his story everywhere to friends, his actions have caused my little sister to lose time. We're creating a narrative about my little sister that is now making her depressed. We might choose not to acknowledge it, but it's a moral injury. And this moral injury that she's suffering today, if we really have to pursue the case he's asking for to seek compensation, it's him, Romary. He's the one who should come to us to pay damages and interest. Because, as I said, Article 1381 applies to him. Any act of a person that causes harm to another. A harm obliges the person whose fault caused it to make reparations.
My son is there at school.
Today what he's doing there hurts.
simply
Question. He's the one who has to...
make amends for something. While he's in his first year, if I had decided to break up with Samira while he's in his first year, and I was supporting him financially, he needs to go to the second year. Who's going to pay? Can you really talk like that? Could he have said,
Please, here you go. He would have asked me for forgiveness because I'm paying for his studies. But he still needs to be grateful. Today what he should have said was, I know you're upset. Let's try to see how we can resolve the situation. He can't talk like that. You
You call sorts of things? I answer yes. If he had
been polite?
too.
My mother, you weren't asking me to say that.
If he'd been polite, you weren't.
simply asking me
To simply say, in other words,
that you,
You don't even apologize. No, I'm sorry.
but you're not even polite to us.
you're not polite.
Wait, let me think. Just a second.
Don't.
I need to be polite to you.
We owe you nothing. I don't need
To be polite. Have to.
make that clear to him. Because you think we owe you something. You think you have the right to talk to us however you want. But no.
All right.
She broke up. Please accept that. I need to be reimbursed. All right.
All right. There will be no possible refund. We'll see about that.
Let's get out of here. You can complain, my child. Let's get out of here. You lock him up. That one?
Today, you'll see that you won't be able to complain. The count isn't even here. When you spent all my money, you forgot.
Don't care.
You're going to talk about complaints.
All right. I think the problem is going from one side to another. We're talking about rights. We're talking about emotions. We're talking about many things. But it is the word of God that despite everything remains the truth. For us here at LMTV, it is the one that has never been disputed since the dawn of time. It has passed through history, it has passed through societies, and the word of God has always remained the truth. Pastor Chumu, here is this story. You have followed it with us from beginning to end. What does the word of God tell us? Your point of view right now in the segment Under the Lens of the Word. Pastor Chumu,
Yes, Roland.
here is the story.
Thank you.
Mr. Romaric feels that he has been deceived, manipulated. As for Dame Samira's family, they believe that love was there, but love is gone. And when love is gone, there's no need to force it anymore. You notice that she believes if love is no longer there, then everything should be reimbursed in full. Because for him, Samira's family is a manipulative and ungrateful family. What is your point of view, and how can we help resolve this issue? The floor is yours.
Thank you. Bernadette, how are you doing today? Just checking in.
I'm fine.
Woman of God.
All right. Are you, if you don't mind me asking, a Christian?
Yes, I am a Christian.
Do you go to church currently?
Yes, I go to church.
All right. But your two children, are they Christians?
My children go to church too, just like...
Me. The microphone.
Yes, they go to church too, just like me.
So in your church, is it allowed for children to have boyfriends or girlfriends? Is that allowed there in your church?
It's not allowed, but they are still considered young children according to the rules. They're just children.
So children, they don't have the right to salvation. Since they're children, they can live in sin. That's fine. Actually, that's the foundation of everything. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here talking. As a mother, I was often seen as someone thoughtfully responding to Romaric, telling him that you took from my daughter. I acknowledge that you did this and that, but it's not forced and all that. My daughter doesn't love you anymore and you shouldn't see us again. So that's the kind of upbringing you gave your Christian daughter, that she can go out with people. And then when she's tired of being with those people, she can just leave them. And you support her in that. Because what's important for Christians is that children get married. So if your daughter is being stubborn, you have to tell her that what she's already done is wrong. But don't be stubborn. Romaric, for example, he complained. Because he still loves the girl, you're a lady, you're a woman, you know what that means. So he still loves her. And he tried to find a way to fix the situation. It's because at a certain point, no one listens to him, that he is forced to act out in his behavior. As a mother, I don't want you to be in the position you're in right now, to the point of asking your son to file a complaint against him. Someone who helped you for a certain period of time, who paid for your housing, he paid your rent. At least he paid your rent. He gave you money, you ate, he paid, and you had 2 children. Your husband wasn't there to pay. He was the one who paid. When he says you're ungrateful, he's right. You can't talk to him like that. Maybe if Cedric talks to him like that, if Samira talks to him like that, I can understand. But you need to tone it down. You're talking like that, but he's someone else's child. Anyway, you've had your children now. That's how his mother had him too. And what did he say? Here on the set, he said he comes from a poor family. He fought to get to the position he has today. And he put his heart into it. He did all that because he thought he could marry Samira. That's why he did it. Between us, you can't just get up, go into the city and help people like that. Help people. Who's going to do that? It's because he loves the girl. He wants to marry her. So you need to speak to him like a mother would, even if he says things that go too far. We're here to set him straight. But when you talk like that, is it really a plot you made against him? And Samira didn't come here because you decided she shouldn't come. You said you didn't know it was because of him that you were called in. And then you leave Samira over there and come with her brother? Is it a plot you made to be able to boycott him? And then, well, his child did it recently and you're going to intimidate him by saying you'll file a complaint. So he's going to drop everything he's done. That's not how it works, actually. Even if your child is a public prosecutor, even if today he's a public prosecutor, that's not how it works. Because there is the country, the law, but there is also what God does, which is there. What he did, God saw it. So if you speak, if you think, you have to think of God. That's what I can tell you. Cedric, I just want to say I'm really happy for you today. I say I'm happy because after the loss of your father, none of your uncles helped you. No relatives, no aunts, no stepfather, no one at all was there to help you. And your mother, what did she do to take care of you? Like a good mother who cares about her children's success, she started a business. Maybe she didn't do that before, when your father was alive. But because you were there, she started selling cheque. We're dressed here. Cheque, how much can that bring in to pay for children's education? Not those in primary or secondary school, but those in university. We ourselves have children who went through university. Some are still there. We know what we spend. For now, we couldn't do that. There is someone who did it. You're a man. And then it can happen that you fall in love with a woman. You know that when you love a woman, you can do anything. You can do anything. You could even go pick the moon and bring it back because you love her. What are we looking for? That the woman could love us in return and that her parents could approve of us. That's why he did it that way. And where you are now, you are a man who is at a certain level, so you can't react like that. If your mother reacts like that, I understand her. But you can't react. For two reasons. The first reason is that you are a man, you will love a woman. And your time will come. You'll see how you handle it. The second reason is that at least you can think that, in my life there was support. There was someone who supported me when there was no one else to do it. There is someone who supported me. So you have to think about that. To say things like that, it's true. Today you have a certain status. I don't know what kind of work you do, but still, that doesn't give you the right either to belittle someone who was important in your life. You are someone in your own life. It's easy to come and quote articles, legal articles. That's it. To show on air that you have knowledge, that's good. But honestly, it's disappointing. This kind of behavior you have with your mother is just not acceptable. We needed Samira to come here so that Samira herself could say out loud that she no longer likes this kind of thing. Romaric, she should come to say that, and she'll tell us why. Romaric says he found a young man, not twice at the house. He saw them again at the supermarket. And is it because of this young man who hasn't witnessed anything, who hasn't done anything in your life, that you all come together to cause trouble? Romaric, a stranger who comes, who has never taken part in anything in your home, it's him who becomes more important than someone who one day actually did something in your life. Honestly, I don't understand that. But well, I'll grant you that, because that's life too. That's just how life is. There are people we've helped, and that's just how it goes. So the word he used was welcome, ungrateful one. When you don't acknowledge a good deed, you're being ungrateful. And what you and your mother are showing here is ingratitude. That's what you're doing. Otherwise, if someone is dating your sister or someone is dating your daughter, that's their business. Both of them. It's their business. You don't get involved in it. If she doesn't want it anymore and you get involved, that's the reason why. If you can't help, let the two of them sort out their problem. He comes because he also sees his mother in her. That's why he does it. That's all. Now, if he says, no, I'm not your mother and I don't care about you, just remember that here we say there's something called karma. Acknowledge that. Now, Romaric.
Yes, Pastor.
All right. It hurts you. It hurts you because you spent money. You answered that earlier with Roland. And it also hurts you because she doesn't want you anymore. But actually, it's not what you spent that hurts you. It's because she doesn't want you anymore. So, as we say here in Côte d'Ivoire, you got played. So now you can't eat, you can't sleep, and you talk about it everywhere. But you saw Roland asked you, did you? Before coming here, you looked for other ways to resolve it. You said you talked to some of your friends, and since that didn't work, you came here. But what he said is more serious than what you told us. You told us you talked with your friends. So what happens between friends doesn't go very far. But you put together a team to slander the girl on social media. So a girl you slandered, how do you expect her to become your wife again? So if you slander my sister, you slander my daughter, you don't want me to react? Of course I have to react. Because I don't like it. My sister is not a prostitute, and you can't go around telling everyone that she is. Why? It's true that you spend money to give. But before spending, you really need to think carefully. When you want to spend, you need to think. If you want to invest, you need to think. That brings me back to the question of age. A girl who lacks maturity like you, because what you did, only someone immature could do that. Paying, studying, doing this, doing that, all that stuff, even though you don't even know what could happen in the future. So you did that. It's because you were spending money that she was with you. But now, when she meets someone else, that's real love. That's where the problem lies. You have to understand that she might meet someone she can love more than you. Maybe there's something she finds in him that you don't have. So if her mother tells you that love truly can't be forced and she suggests that you should look for another woman instead, she's definitely not lying. No one forced you. Whatever you did, no one forced you. You chose to do it. If she says she doesn't love you anymore, there are people who have bought a house to give to a woman. They've bought a car to give to a woman, and then the woman left them. Or even, she's still there, but she's with someone else, and then they get rid of them together. Roland, Pastor, I think that this story should really make these young people stop and think carefully about their choices and actions. That's absolutely right. And it should also encourage them to seriously consider and reflect on what exactly they are doing with their lives, their time, and their money, as well as the long-term consequences of those decisions. There's maturity involved. There's a certain age when you get married. Because someone once said that when you love a woman, if you put money first, it means you yourself are not entirely certain of your feelings. So, you want to hide everything behind money. Here, we're not going to tell someone that just because he spent money, he can come and ask for it back. You spent money alongside what you were doing with her. It was sweet. That's why you didn't have time to hold back and you spent money. But it was at that moment that you were spending. That's it. Now it's over. You don't spend any more either. So you have to let her go. Personally, I think that everyone who spends money on women needs to understand that when you're spending, it's not a contract, as Cedric said.
It's because there's love.
It's because there's love. If love no longer exists, everything you spent, it should be forgotten. It doesn't matter anymore. You shouldn't hold anything against someone just because you gave them something. You shouldn't hold anything against someone. So it's at the moment when you spend that, you need to know what you're doing. And I also want, at the same time, to encourage Christians to raise their children in the Christian way. For us, we have a life that is different from those who are not Christians. We are children of the kingdom, so we act according to the kingdom. If you live with your children, you shouldn't say they're too young. Even when they're at Bazai 2 years old, if you go to church, you should take them with you. And you need to teach your child the Christian basics. A Christian is not allowed, as long as they are not married, to have sexual relations. And when he is married, he must be faithful to his wife, to his husband. So there you have it. Now, if there are excesses, these are the consequences we are experiencing here. So I wanted to invite Christians to follow the way of the Lord. May God bless you.
Pastor, can we also say a word to the young sisters? Who, after having tasted love, find it sweet and then they also give up?
Because you can say that, but think about a girl who has no father, who perhaps doesn't even have anyone to look after her, who maybe goes through her day without enough to eat, sometimes only getting a single meal. She faces all of these difficulties and challenges, and then she meets someone who is willing to spend money on her, offering her a rare moment of kindness and attention. What do you expect? She'll be hypocritical so she can benefit from his money. So that's something people shouldn't forget. But what you're saying is also absolutely true. That is to say, if you honestly think or feel that you can't have something truly serious or meaningful with someone, then you really should let them go. You
shouldn't just take their money.
You shouldn't take their money. Because today's world is not an easy one. There was a girl who said something like this. She was talking to someone and then she said, well, I'll give you a month. I'm going to Benin. I'll be back. There are people who are into occultism. You don't know them. There are people who are in secret societies. There are people who are ritualists. You're going to take their money. And then they'll turn it against you. You end up going crazy. You wander the streets. It's because of someone else's money that you took. Because for him, it's evil that lives in his heart. He'll pay you back for it. So I want to tell my girls that if you think you don't love someone, you should just leave them. You shouldn't take his money. Because that money will speak against you. So that's what I wanted to say.
All right, Pastor Chumu. All right. I think that all sides have been addressed. Men, women, children, parents, everyone has been included. And that's exactly the purpose of this show, to educate through the Word of God. Madam Bernadette, did you listen? The advice from Pastor Chumu in 30 seconds. What do you have to say?
I want to thank the pastor. It's for his reasoning. In any case, he explained things very well. Yes, I am a mother. I shouldn't have condoned that. But at the beginning, I didn't condone it. But things got out of hand. And today, given the state my daughter is in because of social media, that's why I acted. Honestly, I understand. He's also someone else's child. I have to put myself in their place. In his mother's place, because he also came to me. But the state your child is in, and then hearing things, that's really what broke my heart. That's why. Otherwise, I understand him. Amula, it's not easy to be. When you love someone, and then that person tells you they don't love you, it's not easy. It's not easy. So really, as a Christian too, based on what the pastor explained, I hope things can be resolved. Things can be sorted out between the children themselves first, and then we, the parents, will intervene. That's what I meant. All right.
Cedric,
Many thanks to the pastor for his wise words. But first, I would like to apologize to Romaric because I have no right to get angry with him, because I am infinitely grateful to him. He is the one who made it possible for me to become the lawyer I am today. But I want Romaric to know one thing, and that is love is not a contract, it's about the emotions we feel. And if someone says it's over, he needs to accept it. Because when he doesn't accept it and then it turns into gossip, it can have consequences. Today, my little sister is depressed. These are the consequences of all the rumors they spread, which circulated around their relationship. And that, it has legal consequences. But because we are grateful to him, we won't start any kind of legal proceedings. We're going to let it all go. But Romaric also needs to accept her decision. Because if he stays, he thinks he's going to suffer. If she broke up, that's her right. He also needs to accept that and move on. So that's what I wanted to say. All right.
dear Romaric, you have heard Pastor Tumu, and you have also heard your guest here on this set. The final word goes to you. All right. First, I want to thank the pastor for...
I thank the pastor for his intervention. I can also sincerely apologize to Samira for the words that I must have said to her and for any hurt or misunderstanding that may have been caused by what I said during that situation. But at the same time, I believe I only spoke to 3 people about it. I didn't know those people would spread everything, would say things like that on social media. I didn't go on social media to talk about it. Honestly, all my friends I spoke to about it are the ones who did this. So I want to apologize to the whole family. And since I am the pastor's parents, I think I will drop this matter of reimbursement. And it hurts me right now, honestly, it really hurts.
But I think maybe with time it will get better. And then, thanks to God, to have another relationship. Or as the pastor said, not to bring up money right from the start. First, to show my true feeling. Thank you very much.
Do you think it's possible to show love when you have money without showing the money?
First, show that you love the person. And then, of course, fully invest yourself, including financially. And all that, because afterwards you might have regrets, like today. So for me, love can help from time to time. But if you invest yourself completely, you might end up with regrets. Honestly, I've learned my lesson.
Are you deciding to give up on Samira, or are you going to come back stronger?
I've decided to let go of Samira, even though I love her. I think the heartbreak won't last, maybe 3 or 6 months. After some time, I think it will pass.
Thank you as well for coming to your senses as a man and for admitting that you made mistakes. By making rather insulting and disrespectful remarks and comments towards Dame Bernadette and her son, causing offense and discomfort. And Dame Bernadette as well, thank you very much for humbling yourself and showing such admirable humility in this situation. Someone here in Côte d'Ivoire might say that if you want to rise, you must first lower yourself. And you humbled yourself to acknowledge, despite your status, to recognize your mistake. And there you have it. Thank you also to Cedric for admitting your mistakes as well. But well, we always remain open. Our mission is to reconcile. That's it. As he said, he still loves Samira. We hope that one day maybe Samira will come back with better feelings. If that's not the case, we will respect her decision. I even want to finish by saying that when love no longer exists, the way you tell the other person can also help them understand. Surely that's what made our brother here on the set, Romaric, upset. He felt hurt by the words that were used. But well, fortunately everything has been resolved. Pastor Chumu. Yes, that's right. As I said, it is the word of God that is the truth. And your words, full of wisdom, have ended up touching hearts. But our brother Romaric, he is really hurting. Behind this little screen, there are surely thousands of Romarics hiding. And then there are also families, like Dame Bernadette's family, whose sons or daughters have been victims. Today they suffer from depression because of a lack of communication and understanding. What could have resulted from a similar situation to this one? I would like us to pray for those families, but beyond that, let us pray for all those who are going through similar situations. Let us pray, please.
I call upon you, our God, our Father. You who know all things, you who are able to do all things, Lord, our God, our Father, the one who has the power to restore and renew. You see Romaric, you see his heart, his self-control, his patience, and his perseverance. He spent his youth, those precious years, and he invested himself fully, wholeheartedly, in love, in caring for others, and in giving of himself. Today he is left with nothing. He has lost everything. But he has accepted it, Lord our God, because Samira no longer loves him. I also prayed for the parents who supported what their daughter did, but who acknowledged it. I pray to you, Lord our God, for all the families where this kind of situation occurs. You are the one who heals broken hearts. It is you, Lord our God, our Father, who revives courage. I ask you to act and bring peace back into homes, into lives. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Pastor Tomo, thank you. Thank you as well to the families who came to this set. Ms. Bernadette, Brother Cedric, Mr. Kouassi Romaric. I was going to say, Mr. Cedric, thank you very much. Thank you to you, our dear loyal viewers of the show Point d'Accord, and also to the big LMTV family. May God bless you abundantly. For those of you who watched this show and shared it, if you haven't done so yet, we ask you to share it on social media, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Do it, share this show widely so it can touch the heart of someone who is surely going through this kind of situation.